This is gonna piss off a lot of people, but you don't have a problem with smoking. You have a problem with intimacy. And I said it, and if it triggers something within you, that's good. So bear with me and watch the rest of the video to get more tips on how to quit smoking for real. Welcome to my channel, Inner Vibe Intimacy. This is my first video, and thank you so much for being here with me. Today, I'm gonna say something bold. You don't have a problem with smoking, you have a problem with intimacy. And I'm not talking about romance, I'm talking about being real, being vulnerable, and having real connections. Yeah, I said it, and if it triggered something in you, good. You crave connection, you need intimacy, not just surface level, let's talk about the weather kind of connection, but soul level. See me, hear me, be with me, kind of connection that actually regulates your nervous system. That kind of connection that makes you feel safe, warm, and home. You think you're really reaching for a cigarette, but what you're really reaching for is connection, comfort, feeling safe. Let's think about it. When you're in a group of people and you suddenly feel this itch to smoke, to light up a cigarette, so what is actually happening is your nervous system going into defense mode, and you're not actually connecting with people. You are protecting yourself from people. This happened somewhere along the way. It happened somewhere along the way during your childhood when you learned growing up that connecting to others on a deeper level was scary, was actually not safe, and you being seen was dangerous for some reason. So you conditioned yourself that you have to protect yourself when and while communicating with other people. When you light up that cigarette in the company of people and talk to them, you're actually subconsciously sending them the message, I'm not here to connect with you, I'm just here to smoke a cigarette. And that is kind of avoiding that real level of connection that you could get to if you didn't use the cigarettes. This little ritual of the smoking, it gives you enough distance to avoid getting real connection. This is just enough detachment not to risk real intimacy. If it gets too real, you might get hurt. No one wants that, right? We want to feel comfortable. We want to feel within our own world of safety. But safety has a different meaning for everyone. Since we develop the feeling of safety in those early years in our childhood. And sometimes it's so contradictory because sometimes we learn to feel safe when actually we don't have any real emotional connection to our caregivers or our environment. And this is not about shame. It is just about awareness, because you have the power to change that and to become a non-smoker and to become really and deeply connected to your inner self. And in this way, you can become like brave enough to start like connecting to other people on a more real level. You were probably raised in a home where love felt confusing, and love came with a lot of conditions, what it meant to be loved, what you should do to be loved, where people said I love you but didn't really listen to your needs or listen to your desires, or where people were emotionally unavailable or physically unavailable. So now, as an adult, intimacy feels really, really unsafe, or it just feels untrustworthy or too much, and you have to run and avoid that true feelings of yours. And smoking becomes your invisible boundary, because we struggle so much to put our real boundaries, like we struggle so much to put boundaries with others that we can use that defensive and maladaptive strategies like smoking to create an invisible wall of smoke, this mist, that mask that we use as our wall, but it drains us and it's actually making us unhealthy. Smoking becomes our shield, and it's an accepted one. It's an accepted, socially accepted exit door. and we can use that shield because it is socially accepted. And it is socially accepted to have an excuse not to be present. And it is socially accepted not to be fully present. But here is a powerful truth for you. You don't need cigarettes to really connect with people. You don't. I can tell you that because I'm an ex-smoker, and I used to smoke for like 20 years. I used to smoke for like 20 years of my life. I started as a teenager when I was 14, and I know how hard it can be, and I know how cigarettes can become your best friend. You tell yourself that cigarettes are your best friend, and you believe that cigarettes help you think more clearly, but actually it's just the opposite. Cigarettes are just numbing your pain, and they become a constant loop of numbness. You tell yourself that cigarettes are not that harmful, but they rob your body from oxygen and rob you from your energy, from your vital energy. And you wake up every morning feeling exhausted and drained and your head isn't clearer than it was the day before. Smoking goes deeper than just a habit. It's a coping mechanism that was born from childhood trauma. It's maladaptive, sure. But it's the only way that you learned how to numb the pain and how to control your shame, your guilt, and your feelings of discomfort. It's how you learn to survive without real boundaries, and it's how you learn to communicate, or let's say not communicate, your real needs. It's how you mask that discomfort and how you mask that unmet needs. But there's a thing, it's not helping anymore, and you don't need this anymore. You tell yourself, well, I value my health, but your actions, they don't align with your values. You are not honoring your body when you are draining it from oxygen, and you're not honoring yourself. So what you need to do is you have to face your internal voice and your own authority, and you have to face that need for transformation on a deeper level if you would like to be free from smoking and to heal real. You have to take responsibility for that healing. You have to take responsibility for that connecting with others, and you have to take responsibility for setting your own boundaries and choosing who to communicate with and on what level to communicate with. Sometimes we smoke to pass the time, to procrastinate, or to talk to people that we don't really like. And this again is our own discomfort, that we could set our own boundaries without lighting up a cigarette. We could just choose not to communicate with the people we don't want to communicate, and to set our own boundaries with the people that we don't like. We don't need to tell these people like we don't like them. So we usually avoid that discomfort of making our own choices and taking responsibility for our own decisions. But actually the best thing that ever happened to me is when I really started to stand behind like my every decision and every choice that I make. Next time you feel the urgency to light up, ask yourself, what do I really need right now? What do I really feel? How do I really feel being here? How do I really feel communicating with this person or those people? Ask yourself, how would I feel without the smoking part right now in this same situation? And what would happen if people saw me just without my smoking habit? So it's not about smoking, it's about healing that reason that made you start smoking in the first place. So you need courage to choose that, and you need courage to choose yourself and change your life. You're not broken. You're just protecting a part of you that's really tender and really sensitive, and you just don't have the tools to do that in a healthy manner. So stick around, because I can help you heal that part of yourself, and I can guide you reach that place in yourself where you feel truly in love with yourself, in love with your life, and fully choosing yourself, choosing your health, and choosing to wake up every morning with a smile and with enthusiasm for the day that's to become. So if this video landed on you, and if it triggered something within you, or made you think about something, made you feel in a certain way, please share that with me in the comments, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think.